Ever since I was a little kid, I have always loved Pokemon. It's always been a part of my childhood. And I'm not going to ever shy away from what Pokemon was for me as a kid growing up. When it comes to Pokemon itself, I loved the anime as a kid. I used to always watch as many episodes as I possibly could. And as you guys know, I own a batch of DVDs of the original series. But I don't watch all of it. But at some point in my life, I stopped watching the anime. At a certain time, I stopped caring, all because the anime started to hit a level that I thought it was bad. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be taking myself down memory lane and talking about what made me love the Pokemon anime. I hope you guys are ready, because I am too, to talk about what made me love the Pokemon anime and what slowly made me drift away from the series as a whole. And now, on to the topic at hand. When I was a kid, I began watching roughly around the time when I'd say the Ruby and Sapphire series really started. And this was the season I grew up with as a kid. Yeah, I know a lot of people say, I've been watching Pokemon since the original season, Season 1. Well, yes, I did own Season 1 when I was younger, but we didn't have the entire series. We never owned the full series as kids. So when it comes down to it, my friends, we never fully owned it. So I began watching when the Advanced series began. And so you guys get my point. So I was watching during the Ruby and Sapphire days. So my nostalgic towards these seasons are obviously really big and nostalgic to me, because this is when I began watching. When Ash was in the Hoenn region alongside May, Brock, and May's younger brother, Max. And I have to say, this series was... Obviously, it was great for me as a kid. I obviously loved it as a kid. And it's not hard to see why. Because again, as a kid, you enjoy it. I was invested in a lot of the episodes, and I was endeared towards May. Not just because she was a girl or anything because of that. I was just endeared towards her character. Being a trainer that didn't understand battling, but eventually got better at it. And her desire to become a great coordinator. I just loved the Ruby and Sapphire series, and since I have 2 of the seasons at home, I began watching them once again to see if I still felt the same way about them. Because many years ago, I made a video titled Why I Don't Like the Anime Anymore. It was from my original channel that I no longer use. And I thought to myself, I'm a grown-ass adult now. There's no way I would enjoy Pokemon the way I used to when I was younger. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong. When I began watching Advanced and Advanced Challenge, when I watched all of Advanced and Advanced Challenge, I still loved it. I still felt nostalgic towards that series. Obviously, there are some not good episodes in there, which obviously every single season of Pokemon is unfortunately going to have. There's always going to be good episodes, and there's always going to be bad episodes. That is something, obviously, most of us can have to admit that not every single season is going to have great episodes. So yeah, when it came down to it, there was not a lot, there was just so much love I had for that season. Obviously, I loved Advanced Battle and the Battle Frontier, which that was also from that same cast. But then eventually, I moved away from Pokemon after that series ended. But then I started watching Diamond and Pearl. I started watching the Diamond and Pearl sagas, where Ash was in Sinnoh alongside Brock and a new ally by the name of Dawn. I did not think I would love Diamond and Pearl, because obviously May wasn't going to be there anymore. But I did! I loved Diamond and Pearl. I thought the Diamond and Pearl series was another great season of Pokemon, and I really enjoyed them. I actually own half of the DVDs of Diamond and Pearl. That is the season I almost have the full collection of. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be upset that I'm not talking about the original Season 1 and the earlier seasons where Ash was in Johto and all that. And trust me, I did watch some of that stuff as well. But again, I never grew up with that. I didn't grow up with that. While I did watch it, these weren't the series I grew up loving. But I will acknowledge them. I will acknowledge them as great seasons. Because again, you feel that way. The earlier seasons of Pokemon were definitely, nostalgic towards you. And I felt nostalgic towards the Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl seasons. Dawn was actually a great character. I thought her character was pretty good and all that. She went down the same path as May, wanting to be a contest coordinator and not a gym leader. But the difference is her mum was always a coordinator, so it was easier for her to be a coordinator while May's dad was a gym leader. And they expected her to go down the same path as her dad, but she ultimately didn't. She went down her own path. But I will say this, Team Magma and Team Aqua were pretty good villains in the Ruby and Sapphire saga, when they used Groudon and Kyogre. I remember that episode, that was the episode I remember the most throughout my time of watching the original Ruby and Sapphire saga. Just remembering how awesome that battle was with Groudon and Kyogre. It was really, really awesome. Diamond and Pearl was also very similar, where they had the Lake Trio, and Dialga and Palkia. That was also fantastic as well. And Ash had his greatest rival next to Gary, because I don't want to upset people that say Gary is his greatest rival. Next to Gary, his second greatest rival being Paul. And people can't deny Paul was a great rival. While obviously people will always be nostalgic towards Gary, which is fair, I will not deny Gary is a good rival as well for Ash. But here's the thing. Gary does exist, still is around. He did appear a couple times in the Sinnoh sagas, more as like a friend to Ash, because he's no longer being the rival. He's now becoming a Pokemon researcher like Professor Oak and all that. So he does appear a couple of times in the Sinnoh story, which is actually pretty damn cool. It's actually pretty cool to see some of the older characters when they appear. May even appeared in the Diamond and Pearl stuff. Misty appeared in the Hoenn stuff as well. So it's always good to see old characters re-emerge. But unfortunately, despite my love for the Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl seasons, this is unfortunately where my love fell for the anime. My love for the anime fell when the new season came out, the Black and White. While Black and White I absolutely loved, when it comes to the video games.
In 50 years.
Shut up, ads. Well, while I do love the black and white games, I cannot say the same thing about the anime when it comes to black and white. The black and white anime was... Oh, this is unfortunately where my distaste for the anime started to fall off. I was not a fan of the black and white saga. Oops, I forgot to put it on repeat. Go me. Even though, there we go. Now, even though, the Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl seasons do have some flaws, there are some episodes in them that aren't very good. To me, the Black and White Saga, had a lot more flaws in it than positives. While there were some good episodes, the main thing that a lot of people didn't like about the Black and White Saga is Ash's companions, Iris and Sylens, who were possibly the most unlikable allies of Ash. I remember seeing a lot of people saying they were the most unlikable trio. And after re-watching Black and White several times, I actually can agree that that Iris and Sylens are not that great. I never liked Iris. She was always annoying to me. I always found her annoying. There's not many characters in the anime I ever really find annoying. And also, that also depends on who's who. But again, there's a few other things I didn't mention about when it comes to the other seasons I liked. May had rivals, being Drew and Harley for contests. Ash didn't really have a rival in the Hoenn season, while Ash had Paul in the Sinnoh seasons. Dawn had rivals, but they were more friends. Being Zoe and Kenny. They were more friends like Zoe and Kenny. In Black and White, they went overboard with the amount of rivals. They went completely overboard. First, they gave Ash probably the worst rival of all time, being Trip. No one likes Trip. I doubt there's anybody out there that thinks Trip was a great rival for Ash. In my opinion, he was easily the weakest and worst rival of all of Ash's rivals. Then they give Iris a rival, being Burgundy, a Dragon Buster who hates Dragon-type trainers, and she must defeat every Dragon-type trainer. And they even gave Sylens a rival, which I've forgotten the name of... Or was Burgundy the one that feuded with Sylens? I don't remember. Georgia was the name of the one that Iris feuded with. Yeah, so Burgundy was Sylens' rival, and Georgia was Iris's rival. So they just went overboard by giving everybody a rival. They gave everybody a rival, which I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why they had to give everybody a rival. And then they added more rivals. Ash got a few more rivals, being friends like Stefan, and even Bianca, who is in the Black and White games, and all that. They just started piling on more and more rivals for our main heroes, which got very, very annoying very quickly. And also, it was also very difficult to keep up with how many damn rivals they ended up having. I did not like that. And I thought that was very, very irritating. And very annoying. It's also kind of stupid that I like the Black and White movies of the anime more than the anime itself. So yeah, Black and White was when I really started to tone out of the anime, and it was really disappointing because I heard a lot of positive things about X and Y. I watched a few episodes of X and Y. I watched a few episodes of X and Y when I was able to catch up. I was able to catch up with some of the episodes from X and Y, and I have to say, I really love the X and Y anime. From the episodes I've watched, it was already miles better than what they were doing with... It was already miles better than what they were doing with Black and White. Like it starts with Serena learning how to do Rhyhorn racing, Ash meeting Clement and Bonnie, and learning about Mega Evolution, and also, who will never forget about the scene when Ash jumps off the giant building to save his Pikachu after freeing Garchomp from that necklace that Team Rocket put on it. And then Serena going on a quest to get to Ash, to make her small quest to Ash, which was also very fun. And it's just the first few episodes were great. I just thought the first few episodes were fantastic. They were great. I really enjoyed the X and Y anime quite a fair amount, which was... I haven't gotten around to watching all of it. I do want to start watching all of it. I do want to start watching all of X and Y and really see what made it so good, because I heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about it. And from the episodes I watched, it's a major step up from the first few episodes of Black and White.
Immerse yourself.
It's a major upgrade, and that's all I can really say. Even Ash loses his first gym battle. He loses his first gym battle, and Serena motivates him to work hard and get back into it. Serena asks Ash if she remembers him. Ooh, great little storytelling going on there. So, there's just a lot of greatness in X and Y just from the first 4, 5, 6 episodes, and I really enjoyed the first few episodes. I'm definitely going to continue to watch X and Y just so that I can see more of it and see how great it actually gets. And if there are any bad episodes, I'll definitely be sure to mention them. And also, I did watch a little bit of Sun and Moon. I watched a little bit of Sun and Moon. Not a lot of it, but just a little bit of it. I remember seeing a few episodes of Sun and Moon, but that's about it. I can't really say I was really into Sun and Moon all that much either. But overall, guys... But overall, guys, the point I'm trying to make is that I went from really liking the anime to falling off thanks to Black and White. Black and White really made me fall off on the anime. And the other reason why I kind of get bored of the Pokemon anime is Team Rocket, man. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of people that like Team Rocket. I know there's a lot of people that do like Team Rocket and they find them very nostalgic. But to me, they are pests. After a while, they get very irritating. I'm sorry. But as the seasons have gone on, they get so irritating as the seasons go on, man. They just do. They just continue to get more irritating as the seasons go on. Do you think they would have moved on from Team Rocket after so many seasons? But nope, they just continued to hang around the series, and that's kind of what dropped me off of the anime as well. The endless amount of Team Rocket, like Ash falling for the same tricks all the time when it came to Team Rocket. Him always being surprised when Team Rocket do something. It's almost comical how ridiculous they made things. But regardless, I'm going to be trying to get my love back for the anime. This is the point of this video, wanting to try and reconnect my love for this for this anime and this series again. Why am I mentioning this now? Because I kind of miss watching the anime and re-watching the Ruby and Sapphire series again, and even some parts of Diamond and Pearl made me miss loving what made me love the Pokemon anime. So I really want to try and reconnect and get that whole love back. I want to start watching the seasons I didn't really watch. Starting with X and Y, obviously. I want to start watching X and Y. Many people say that was one of the best. That was easily Pokemon's peak. I want to start checking out Sun and Moon, see if Sun and Moon was any good, outside of the little small episodes I remember seeing. But other than that, guys, that's all I really got to say when it comes to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This video, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you all in the next video.